Hey everybody, welcome. We have made it to the middle of the week here, and we're gonna do a premiere draft of Amonkhet Remastered. I didn't even ask chat today. I'm still into this set, and I want to try it out, especially because we're gonna do a cube draft on Friday when we do our usual Friday gauntlet where I battle against viewers. So since we're doing something else on Friday, I'm gonna do Amonkhet today and tomorrow at least once, and then maybe we can do something else if this wraps up quickly. I wouldn't mind. Even going back to M21, I did a bot draft of M21 last night. I think it was it Tron or somebody around here was saying that they found that green-white can be forced pretty well on M21 bot drafting, and I gave that a try. I just hard forced it and did end up with a very good deck that would have been even better if I had just randomly opened better, but even with the average pulls I got, that ended up good. So anyway, that's a little aside on M21 there. Maybe we'll get to some of that later. If you're getting to something on your tabletop later and you need some extra cards for it, though, I want you to check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, for everything you need on that front. They are approaching normal on shipping times, although certain things are causing shipping to be pretty wonky in the States right now, and hopefully between COVID and political stuff and delays and overtime, it's complicated. But Card Kingdom still dedicated to getting you your cards as fast as they can possibly get them to you, given all the circumstances they're working with, and the fact that they're thinking about it all just shows, you know, that they're dedicated to customer service and they're trying to figure out how to adapt to these crazy times. So if you need anything for your tabletop Magic experience, please remember you can do it via my affiliate link. Oh, I did want to, I talked with Card Kingdom recently, and I asked Kevin, my contact there, about the exact, using my affiliate link and what kind of window it creates. And basically, anytime you go to Card Kingdom via an affiliate link, there's a 2-week window after that visit in which all the transactions you make with Card Kingdom will be reflected on the affiliate link that you went there with. And so you don't have to worry that, like, if you don't buy something immediately, like, it's not going to, you have a nice window to go visit and then come back later if you want, and it still helps out my stream. And I just wanted you to know that because I wasn't sure how long it lasted either. But of course, if you go to CK via somebody else's affiliate link, it's going to override whatever one you went to last time. And Mama says CK sent her the prettiest little angel token with last order, and it just so happened you needed one for the cube. Nice surprise. Exactly. They love putting little surprises in. That's a nice touch at Card Kingdom. Basically, you're always going to get something in your order that you didn't order that's a little surprise and delight type thing. So do you have to keep that same browser open? No, it knows that you showed I'm sure it's a IP thing though, right? Like, as long as you're coming from your same computer, it should know. So yeah, thank you for your sponsorship, Card Kingdom, and thank you all for supporting. It all matters. They show me the numbers of purchases tied directly to use of my affiliate link. So it is a very direct way to support this stream. So thanks a lot, Card Kingdom, and thanks to everyone who visits them via my affiliate link. I appreciate it. We are going to jump in here for full gem price, though. Get into draft view. Oh my God, Hat has brought it up. I am out of coffee. Almost. I got a couple sips of coffee. And when I get my need for a new beverage, you know where I'm going to get it? The fridge upstairs, because I don't have a mini fridge next to my desk anymore. My daughter is living in a small studio apartment that has a small mid-size mini fridge. And it started to have real problems. It was like leaking water all over the place. And so she had to give up her current fridge, and I had to ship her my extravagant mini fridge. So I am a mere mortal again. Sand Strangler leaps out to me as the pick here. It's a 2-for-1 if you can pick up the deserts, and we want to pick up the deserts anyway. And what are we hoping to wheel? Puncturing Blow's not going to wheel. Cartouche might, depending on how the table values it. And depending on how aggro we are, Cartouche can be excellent. That's a hard thing for, you don't hear me say that much about an aura that doesn't say when this enters the battlefield, draw a card or create a card's worth of value, right? Thank you so much for that sub, Bobster. But in this case, the combination of effects here, the +1/+1, the haste, and very specifically the target creature can't block, really turns this into a finisher house for low to the ground aggro decks. Speaking of low to the ground aggro decks, another card that goes surprisingly well in that, given the clause on it, is Compulsory Rest. I think this goes pretty late around these parts, and I think that's partly because you look at it as it's pacifism, but they even get life out of it, like it's worse than pacifism. And that is true, but it also is the removal available for the color, so you still take it for that purpose. If we wanted to, and Boros aggro would be a fine place to start. Shafet Monitor called out. I do like this as well. I also like this Wasp. Aggro, this blocks. It's a 2/1 flyer for 2 that actually blocks. Shafet Monitor for the ramp strategy is quite good. Scrapper also good. I'm going to take a 2-drop removal spell before I'm taking one of these, even though it's in color. And I do like Compulsory Rest with Sand Strangler a little bit better than Monitor. Although, actually, I changed my mind. I think the Sand Strangler, the fact that at the last minute I remembered to read the card and remembered that it actually can get a desert. So Monitor plus Strangler is a decent place to start. And this can be splashed in a control shell green, which is what I again like about this format. Like in fact, I'm going to hold this desert right now. Sunset Pyramid. This is decent for the control shell too. You can take but what I liked is that there was, from Sand Strangler, we could have gone very aggro or very control with our second pick, and we kind of went a control route. And Baleful, is totally reasonable as well. But I'm on Desert or Sunset here. Baleful is fine. Desert's on color. And actually, Shafet Monitor makes me want to try and support the green. I'm going to take the Desert. I love me the Deserts. Sandworm jumps out immediately, given where we're at. But what else is here? Farm to Market. Farm is okay, but not great. And Aftermath, Market, you'll cast it, but it's not exciting either. None of that's exciting. We don't want the Crypt. Yeah, this is a pretty clear Sandworm. This is not a great pack. Lazy Sarah here is fine, but I would take Greater Sandworm over that, and then maybe even Riverwinder. We saw how useful Hexproof was yesterday. Yeah, this is reasonably strong. Like it's a grounded Sarah Angel. That's the Lazy Sarah joke. But I like Desert there, and then Gravedigger immediately leaps out at me here. Again, this baseline green has me wanting to be a green X control deck. We also have an Unquenchable Thirst that leaps out as well as something appealing, but I'm going to go for the straight 2-for-1. Cycle a Shafet Monitor, ramp, get it back with Gravedigger, do it again, or get Sandworm back, etc. Yeah, mainly I'm happy that there's been reasonable green. We'll see how rare the green looks in terms of its because I really want if the green is flowing, then I don't care what else we get. Like I almost want to just take a Desert here. We can fetch it with the Monitor, and I like that better than kind of this average 3-drop here. There's not much reanimation. I just like the general flexibility of this. I don't need to reanimate this to feel like it's worth playing. Just the extremes of having something to do on 2 and 7 is great. Yeah, I'm going to take the Desert. If we're doing multicolor base green, the Desert's fine. And I'm feeling like we kind of are. There's a lot of medium cards in this pack, including the one I think I'm going to take here, but there's nothing This is maybe the best card in the pack in context. If you're doing the black-white zombie deck, Amonkhet's Name is a fantastic common piece for it. And, you can, sometimes there are decks that need just the +1/+1, even if you're not heavy zombie. But I'm going to try with a companion. I like getting down on 2, even defensively, a companion is fine. If this had been an Evolving Wilds, I think I go there, but since it's not, I like the Sandworm as a 2-mana cycler, number 2 over the Drake. And this is somewhat signally for us that maybe we're in the right seat. Another Desert, another Shimmer Scale Drake, and these single color creatures are fine inclusions in a X color green deck because you can cycle it or play it, but I'm going to keep snapping up deserts that come our way over a Shed Weakness here. Now the Shafet Monitor can go get us the desert that casts the Gravedigger to get back the Shafet Monitor, right? That kind of stuff going on here. Got you. I don't like any of this. Interesting to note that we were talking about Kenra Scrapper as a possible pick the first time this pack came around. So I'll take that as a hedge. We could also take the Deliverance, but Destroy Target Artifact is a little too narrow. I will take Mummy here over the Flyer. I think there's more of a chance that we backdoor into a heavier black component here. You want to get the Aven instead, Norbert? I don't know. All right, we can take it. Here's a Mummy anyway. Oh man. Oh, sorry. This is the bad desert, not the good one. I guess in that case, we'll take the Forsake. We're not going to be doing that uncommon desert thing. We're not doing this. Hour of Promise. This is actually right up our alley. Kind of a nice rare to open. Search your library for up to 2 land cards. Note it just says land cards, not basic lands. Put them on the battlefield. Then, if you control 3 or more deserts, create zombies. So very nice. And I was really scared that we were going to see a bunch of incredible stuff that we had to pass to take this, but it's also a medium pack outside of that. Stalwart's nice. Bone Picker, solid. Gustwalker, great for aggro, but not quite where we're at here. Hour of Promise is perfect, though. Cartouche is solid, yeah. You want Cartouche? You don't want Cartouche over Hour, though, right? Hour is kind of what we're doing, so I love it. What I want is a red desert now. Here's a blue desert, which I would take that too. Gideon's Intervention, not really what you want to be doing. I don't even think this is particularly good and constructed, is it? I suppose it's a catch-all for, a safety valve for some formats. We take a Cartouche, Lethal Sting, or, again, just the blue desert. I think it's one of these 3. There's the companion that's in our core color, but I think we have a chance at wheeling that. But there's nothing else here that appeals to me besides these 3. Yeah, I guess we have Sandworms, right? So we should take the black Cartouche. When you're running a double Greater Sandworm, dropping a Cartouche of Ambition when the coast is clear onto a Sandworm kind of ends the game, right? Companion is Magical Christmas Land ramp, but I certainly don't like to count on it. We have a Hooded Brawler, which this is a better deck for it than even we had yesterday, but I'm going to take Open Fire on the splash plan. I don't think we're playing the Scrapper, actually. That's not really what you want to be doing with a splash type effect. But Sand Strangler and Open Fire are, so we're going to grab those. Aerial Guide could help lift, but I think we just want Vitalist. Yeah. Taking all the ramp we can and heading towards base green good stuff. Another Strangler, excellent. We're going to grab that and really keep an eye out for the old Red Desert, common Red Desert. Not that we can't just put in a mountain and go fetch a mountain. and then Sand Strangle off of the other deserts we have. But you know, just having all the deserts, having access to, because it kind of looks like we are at this point 4-color non-blue. We could even add blue if the cards break that way, but the point is we'd love to have a desert in all of the colors we're actively trying to cast. Dauntless Aven could do some stuff. Illumination could be a reason to head towards blue. In decks like this, I do like stuff that helps win attrition battles, but we could take Wander and Death that does that. Yeah, white is just an option. Like right now, I'm not splashing either one of these. We just have the desert for it, is all I mean, really. So yeah, maybe we could be as blue as we are white when it comes to cards we're happy to play. On Crop Champion is kind of a combo. I like Wander and Death. We're certainly going to be some level of black, so that's why I like that card there. Naga is generally going to be a 4/2 Trampler for 3, which is fine. You know, by our current standards, even that's not amazing. But what's Appeal? So this is kind of a big swing type card, which I don't think we need. I think I'm going to just take the Naga over the weird 4-drop that's a little harder for us to cast. Here's another desert to consider. We can take, if we are going to be more heavy black, which it's looking like we could be, a Vizier or even a Festering Mummy, or, you know, these are pretty reasonably defensive cards. But I don't love any of them. I guess I'm going to take the Vizier, though. I think I might want that desert by the end of this draft, but we went with that. We could also even... are any of these worth it? I think so. So I guess we take that. I don't know. I don't think any of that really matters to us that much. Companion coming back is good, though. This was basically the only green card in the pack, so we may be well positioned in terms of that. Not that this is a highly sought-after card for green players, but it was literally like the only green card, if my memory serves. Claim. Probably not worth doing that. Probably actually just want to, again, consider the cartouche on Sandworm situation. This is very late for an Avenger to be here. If we happen to end up base white enough, I would, you know, Avenger's better than a Companion mostly. Another Vizier opportunity. I'm going to take a Tormenting Voice. Probably not play either. Doomed Dissenter, again suggesting if we ended up heavy black, we have at least some early drops that support that. Hope Tender is some level of ramp and fixing, but it doesn't create mana you don't have. It augments the mana you do have, but it doesn't fix on its own. Final Reward, Splendid Agony, and we can even just take the Cavern. Is that Slough? Slew? Slew. Is it Slew? Tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, I don't even think we need to take that. I would rather take Removal. And I think I do like, and this is nice for weenie control. A lot of the aggro decks are playing tons of 1 toughness creatures. So in kind of the floor is that you spend 3 to take out a 2 toughness creature, but the ceiling is like a very good 2-for-1. So I do like a Splendid Agony. Oh yeah, Spider's fine here, right? Watchful Naga is good, but we're trying to defend and go long a bit, so I think the Spider's perfect. I'm just trying to read Dispossess. Choose an artifact card. Yeah, this seems like constructed. As soon as I see choose a card name search, I'm like, yeah, we're done. All right, we're pack 3, and I don't quite have the fixing I want yet. I would love to see a little more green fixing. Where's our 2/4 or Naga of the 2/4 green creature? Like, I may have to take this Cultivator, although I don't want to take it here. That would be such a crime. Maybe Ruthless Sniper can actually get some stuff done. We are trying to do some serious cycling of deserts at some point. There's nothing else here that really appeals. I mean, we could take an Eternal as just a generic curve filler, but that card is really for aggro. If we want generic curve filler, I do like Stalwart for that. There's a Trial, and we do have at least one Cartouche, right? And then this Cartouche, so we can take the Trial. People are liking it. I'm finding it just whatever. Like, come on, no, you're not happy with an extra fragile 4-2 for 3. I mean, 4-2 for 3 is already underrate a little bit, and an extra fragile one being a token is even worse. But I'll take it because we have a couple cartouches. I don't know if we're playing this one. Haj says only one cartouche, but I think what Haj means is we don't even know if we're playing this cartouche. Really, this is probably a horror pick or a blighted bat. I guess you could take Steward too. This is somewhat of a, hey, as long as we can do anything, we could help ourselves go a little bit wide with that. We're just not doing much with go wide, and we may be better off just giving ourselves another, big one. I think I'll take the Steward, though. I think it's generally powerful enough to consider, and here we go. Here's a reason to really wish we could also take this Rivulet. Did we get one? I thought, no, all right, shoot. Well, I'm not passing this, even for this. And now we really hope to find some sort of Rivulet action here. Another Wander in Death, although we have one already. I don't think necessarily we want two, because we also have a Gravedigger. Maybe a Doomed Dissenter. Yeah, Doomfall is fine. I find this a little underwhelming, but there's too many tokens floating around, but it's the correct pick. I just don't love this card. Too many things that people are happy to have die. All right, this is our last fresh pack. I can take a Cultivator Black. I can take a Dune Beetle. It's got some toughness. Take a Shed Weakness and occasionally win some combat. I guess we could play a trick. I don't. And yeah, maybe Acclaim was something to consider. I didn't really read it super closely. I like a Dauntless Aven here, though. I hate that Cultivator so bad, but maybe I'm being stubborn. I think we're just going to be Light Splash is where it's heading now. Well, this deck never had didn't find the fixing to get the rails, and I was too stubborn to take the crappy fixing. But I actually think we'll have enough. We just have to end up being heavier in our core color, like black-green, and like potentially playing crap like this. But I'm not going to run. I guess we could take a Javelineer. Did I get it? That might be worth it. And now we're gonna have to be we're gonna have to cut one of our splashes probably. The good thing is we have a lot of actual spells here. So I mean, we get to make 11 cuts as it is. So we just are choosing what core colors we want to be, and then we're leaning hard. I think we have to be like. Yeah, I think white. I think Haj is right. We go. I cut the cartouche intentionally. But see, if we do that, suddenly this deck doesn't look. People are a little worried, off the rails, etc. It's not. We didn't quite get there the way I wanted to, but this isn't a disaster. Maybe you disagree. Maybe some people think this is a disaster. I think this is just not quite where we wanted to land, but we can make it work. And 4 cuts to make even. 19-8. The Javelineer I like better than like a Vizier as long as we're running the red. We're not, this is extra good in aggro, but yeah, you just want to cut all the red. Then we're just going splashing for, I think the Stranglers are too good. I might have to play the desert to help make sure, like, because another thing that's happened here is that we're not really going to get 3 or more deserts often with Hour of Promise, because we need, well, if we luck into 1 desert, we can get the other 2. But Norbert doesn't like the blue splash. Could be. Maybe that's the grown-up thing to do. And then as a straight control-ish Jund deck, you could do worse. All the grown-up choices from chat here. So now a couple more cuts to make. Are we going 16 or 17? We do have Naga Vitalist and Shafet Monitor and Hour of Promise is ramp, but I don't think that's good enough. I think we want to be 17 here with the double Sandworm. So just trying to find the maybe 2 Wander in Death. Is that too many? With the Gravedigger, you can go 1 Wander in Death, 1 Gravedigger. Yeah, Mummy doesn't, we don't really want to discard, do we? I kind of like cutting the Mummy, keeping like the Dune Beetle that's more defensive. This is looking okay to me. What does this look like? 16-7. Stella wants to cut both. I like 1. It is a 2-for-1 in the late game, and if you find the window, you can cycle. I don't like falling back on the crutch of it cycles for 2, because I know that's a real cost. You would never just run a card in your deck because it had cycle 2 on it, unless you were in desperate straits in a Ikoria draft or whatever. But I do believe that we want the upside 2-for-1 potential in Wander in Death. And yeah, I think we go with this. This is not the worst. I think 3 sources, 3 mountains off of this stuff is enough. And I do think we need to play this off-color desert. I don't think we got any other ones, right? Yeah, this deck can do some shenanigans. You could get run over, but there's some shenanigan potential here. Well, what did I cut now? Oh, because I cut a land, and we need to add a land back. Definitely a forest. 6, 7. Maybe we even need to do like that. Hodge doesn't like playing the White Desert. I get it. So you just want to... If we get any desert in play and draw Hour of Promise, we get 2/2 black zombie creature tokens with it. So the question is it worth playing this desert as really an ETB tap land that has the word desert on it to activate Hour of Promise? Because it is reliable if we just get 1. We randomly draw one of our 3 deserts, we go fetch the other 2 with the Hour, and boom, we do it. And yeah, if we're like Sandstrand, like I just feel like we have to, because Hour and Sand Strangler are really looking for it, and to an so is the Sidewinder, but it is very unimpressive. But I think that's part of where this deck is not good, is that we're forced into certain decisions like that, and we can't really cycle it like ever, because nothing we have taps to make white, which is, I think, Hodge's real concern is that's like, if this had the potential to cycle, you could at least sell it on that, and you can cycle it, but we can't. We never can. We are just playing this tapped. But yeah, that's where we're at. I think we're at, yes, do that. But this is better than maybe it looked as We were concerned it was off the rails, maybe a rail joke here. Rail gun. Rail. Ride the rails. Oh, I hear you. There's high risk. I just think we have to take it, right? Or else what are we doing with, you know, hopefully if we lose a game off of this not producing the color we need, we also win a game because we were able to sand strangle something because of the one white desert we happen to have in play for this, you know? Yeah, all right, I'll go with that. Hover train is good. And if there's no redemptions, I don't see any, I'm going to make the Desert of the True our art. And let's see. What's this one? I haven't used this before. Let's use that. Yeah, the blue uncommon desert that I didn't take would have been better than the Desert of the True, right? Great point. So that's something to consider. I just was like, I would never play the crappy blue desert, and here I am playing basically a significantly worse desert. So I acknowledge that point too. And we want, since it's my choice, I'm going to go with my classic Avons. Oops, we don't need that one though. We are in Jundland. We said 6, 7. I think we have to have 8 green sources, or we're not quite doing it right. Although this 5 black sources is what's going to get us, I think. Yeah, maybe that's not. Maybe I need to risk mountains. The mana situation is quite tough. Or we could go 18, find another cut, and actually just add land. That's not the worst idea either. But here we have 2. And effectively 3, 4 with this approach. Yeah, let me just say that the challenge of appreciating art in the context of a creator is a complicated issue, and I think art always has to be enjoyed in context. But anyway, let's not dwell too long there. But I am, you know, cancel culture has its place too. If you're going to be a crappy person, harmful to others, I don't need to celebrate you or look at your stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm more concerned right now in the immediate about whether I need to just, I kind of am feeling like now I just want to add 18 lands and cut even like a Sidewinder Naga. Like, I don't care about that card too much. We still have 15 creatures. I think this is better. I think with 2 sandworms, we may flood a bit, but I think it's flooding with access to the colors is going to be more important. And then it's kind of a concession to this dead land, right? That this becomes a spell. Like, we're playing 17 lands in this Desert of the True spell, which is sad, but there you go. All right. Weird one. Also not cycling that much. I mean, we have some. Is there any like maybe we need to play Wander in Death just to trigger Ruthless Sniper or cut Ruthless Sniper for some, maybe this is the card that's not going to do enough now that I'm looking at it. But it might be a Lightning Rod. We're going to try it. I'm a little suspect about this sniper with the level of cycling we actually expect to do, but we'll give it a try. Silence. Sorry, I should fill some dead air. What's going on? Okay, here we go. I'm used to the game providing me with some content before now. Where is everybody? I guess we're high enough rank that it's maybe harder to pair us. Well, we have Ruthless Sniper and a Cycler. We do not have any... having triple black mana is not where we really want to be, but I'm inclined to keep... we have most green sources of anything, and we do have Sniper into Cycle Wander, which does this thing. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, we got our green. That's good. If we don't have anything to snipe, we can hopefully wait till we have a Javelineer out as well to cycle, right? Oh no, that's just discard. Never mind. I was thinking this triggered on cycle. I should read my cards. Now we are getting too much. But I do like, we can send in an attack here, see if they are willing to block. Oh, it's pay 1 though, so never mind. That would not work. No attacks, no bother. Oh, see, I restarted, so I just re-clicked it. Sometimes that's all it takes. Let me know if people are getting their... Yep, looks like it's working for me. This is what our deck was missing. We saw none, literal 0. I don't know if they weren't opened or they were snapped up. Don't tell anybody, Frieder. Sometimes. All right, well, we get to... Here's another problem, though. If we cycle deserts, we also turn off the hour, because a lot of the stuff that looks at deserts looks at both graveyard and play, but hour, the rare we took, only looks in play. So if we want to do that, we actually have to play that. But we're going to play an untapped land and Spider anyway. I should read this card too. Let's read a lot of cards today. Hodge thinks I'm trapping myself with the hour. Yeah, we'll talk about that after this game. Maybe maybe we're stretching it too far and we'd just be better off with some baseline, easy to cast stuff. Thank you for that sub, Tongo. Appreciate it. I need to read this Spider. Whenever deals combat damage to a creature, we put a -1/-1 counter on it. Whenever you put 1 or more -1 counters a creature each month. Okay, so it does combo with the Sniper in the sense that the Sniper puts a counter on something and the Spider sees it and gives us the little drain benefit. Well, they get a big smack here. We're not going to block anything there. It's our desert. We don't have anything to play here. If we cycle the Wander, we have the mana to trigger. So this is a spot to just play the desert, at least. Because we have the mana to do what we want otherwise. The hour might be worth playing without the white desert, but again, it's about those pesky sand dudes. Okay, so they're tormenting us for 4. At this point, it's probably going to be a lot of life that we lose, but we can pitch a land and have no big deal. So we're going to resolve that, and we're going to discard Swamp, lose 3 life, lose 3 life, and I think even... This last one is what I'm not sure of. Discard Forest is where I'm leaning. All right, looks like some people in chat agree. That's nice. Let's see, what do we want to kill? How about the Vitalist? We can kill the Kenra or the Vitalist. The Kenra just gets to come back and be extra good, so let's take out their mana. And we got the Drain. And more forest anyway. Yeah, that actually worked out. Haj wants to play the desert now. I'm still tempted to cycle it, even though I suppose if we're planning the hour thing, I should just play it. But I kind of like the fact that we, with 2, we're closing in on being able to cycle both and kill another 2-drop. I hear you, but the desert still turns on the point is our stingers or whatever, our flame tongue kavus are on. We just have to decide whether a card now is better or worse than a card in these triggers is better or worse than holding out hope for the hour value. It's working for me. I can restart CBL if it was working for me, but if it's not working for a lot of people, I can try restarting. But I do want to wait. Like if we draw a basic land, I can play it and then we can kill a 2-drop. So still gonna wait. Sandy says maybe just play it so that we can hard cast a Sandworm with 1 more mana. They don't have any Death Touch right now. So actually, now that makes me want to just play the desert. The Looming Sandworm is what got me there. And do we have any dead creatures yet? No, because we could also cycle the Sandworm and get it back with a hard cast of the Wanderer. Thank you for the host, Magic. Welcome, Wizards of the Coast folks and anybody visiting the Magic stream. Looks like this is going to kill that Dissenter. Haj likes cycle Sandworm now. I like wait. If we draw a basic land, we just get to hard cast it, Haj, and then we have the Wanderer waiting to get it back. I like just waiting here. We'll either draw action or a Sandworm or, well, a desert that we have to play tapped. But we'll see. We have 2 of our 3 deserts. Or action we can't cast. I forgot to name the other class of card, the useless card. Now we could consider that. So let's see. If we cycle the Sandworm now, we can put a -1/-1 counter on something, and then play the Wander in Death. But we only get the 1 creature back in that case. I don't know. I'm still... I can discard without cycling. How do I discard? Oh. Because you all are talking about something else, I think. Anyway... Yeah, exactly. I'll leave that conversation alone. You all talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, we could just shrink the stinger, but we can do that. We can actually do the yeah. All right, I'm going to end the turn and consider cycling the sandworm at instant speed to trigger defensive capabilities. See what they want to do here. Yeah, that makes me want to... they only sent this, so I think that's their only attack, so I'm going to do this now. It's true. That's a great point. There's real downside to that. We're just going to eventually kill one of our own things, but we also do have the Wander, so like maybe we just make that happen. And maybe they get worried and take out the sniper, which we don't care about that much. But I hear you. We are setting ourselves up to lose a creature when the Soul Stinger dies. But we have a plan. We just got to save this Wander in Death to be sure to get back the Sandworm and something else. Presumably whatever this kills. This is just a 4/3 for 3. Solid stats, but we're not playing blue, so the other rules text not super relevant for us. Hey, that's pretty cool. Now we can drop Strangler, kill the Stinger, let it put counters probably on the Sniper because Oppo will choose to kill the thing it can kill, and then we get to get Sniper and Sandworm back. Yeah, I could kill the Snake too. I was just gonna basically set off this bomb, right? I was, it's like setting off an avalanche on purpose. just get this out of the way. Well, because eventually it dies. When the Soul Stinger dies, if we kill it via spider damage, it's literally going to put 5 -1/-1 counters on something. And I don't want it to put it on like the Sandworm or something. I just want him to try and use it now on something. Yeah. So, all right. We can do that. I'll let the Stinger live, but I just want you to hear where I'm at with it. Like that, what I was considering was not letting this thing or setting this bomb off on our terms instead of Oppo's. Right. That's the line I was considering on that. Now, I like Companion though. And then actually we'll just try and trade off the Strangler, and then if we can get the Strangler back, we're really doing it, right? Now, if they make us discard 2 cards, that would stink. Unburden. Unburden would be a harsh penalty here. Cross your fingers they don't have that. We could go Strangler and Companion, take out the Soul Stinger. It kills the Sniper. We don't really care about the Sniper anymore anyway. We get to then get back Strangler and Worm. We could also take 5, but again, this is a chance to set off a bomb on terms that actually work for us. Chump works too. We can chump with the Strangler, get that back, and then fire off the Strangler again. Yeah, I think just rebuying the Strangler is good enough. That was the real question for me. Chump with Strangler or actually try and take it out. Getting back a removal spell, pretty nice. Save some damage, get back a removal spell. This is where I don't love Doomfall. Doomfall, not a great card here at all. But we're not going to worry about it. We're going to go to our other plan anyway. You like strangling the stinger? Strangling the stinger means we lose the sniper or the companion. Maybe I should have worked out my attacks first, because I actually don't mind if the companion trades with something here. In fact, maybe I send the companion, offer anything they want, and then strangle the soul stinger, and then I don't really care what happens from that. Or we can just play the Javelineer as well. But I like offering a companion for whatever they'd like here. We also have this intimidating sniper potential cycle and we even have the sandworm in hand to say we could cycle the sandworm and throw a -1/-1 counter around. Not surprising they took that. Does this let us get... I wish we could exile something from our graveyard. But yeah, with that trade, I am going to go ahead and set off the Soul Stinger bomb. And that's actually what I wanted them to do with it. I would rather have a dead sniper than a reduced strangler or spider. Yeah, Doom Falling Hand was a consideration. I guess we would have gotten the Amonkhet or whatever, but I liked where we ended up. Ooh. So there's the cartouche that if we get on the sandworm with them having no removal is pretty good for us. But we're going to start with just the sandworm play and see if they have an answer for the big guy. Staying back on D at 14 as opposed to offering the Sand Strangler again. Although again, we have a Gravedigger lurking in the deck. Yeah, embalm. Wait, you mean this thing? They're gonna bring back Kenra and make this a big lifelinker. Yeah, we take a big smack, but it's okay. Yeah, and they have a 2/4 on the Strangler anyway, so no worries. We'll say no attacks, and... Got to trade with Worm. Really? Why do we have to trade? You think we're dead if we don't trade? Why can't we cartouche up the Worm and start swinging with an 8/8 lifelink? We could chump it if we want, even shrink it down, but no, I don't think we need to do that. I think we hope the cartouche gets us there. Desert is funny, because now this is like, we either play this to set up the hour eventually and get 2 creatures, or we just cycle now, but with the Javelineer, we could also discard it. Maybe we could Doomfall and then Cartouche. Let's take a look at their hand. Not amazing, but we'll take it. And Cartouche, the Worm. What do we want to shrink? Maybe just the lifelinker. Let this 4/4 be. They don't have, although if we, yeah, they can't block. So I like shrinking the Baleful. Kenra is slightly bigger, but this has the lifelink. I like going for the lifelink. What's your argument for the 4/4? I got a little bit of time here. They can't triple block because of the rules text on the Sandworm. If that's your worry, I'm doing it this way. I know it's not a reading stream. You're all forgiven. Uh-oh. Great sequence for Oppo. We're in trouble. Trial of Strength. Of course, coming a couple turns after the cartouche. Classic magic. And again, this is a pretty weak card when our only means to bounce it back is one single cartouche. Well, maybe we need to go for some cycling now. If they block... Okay, if we play a Javelineer, we could even play Javelineer and discard and make something unable to block. That does allow us to race pretty effectively. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll spend that and this. And... that's true. We can offer a trade here. Maybe I should just get in with the threat of Javelineer, and then we'll see what they want to do here. Yeah, they're just taking it anyway, right? I'm going to go ahead and play the trial and get wide on the board. Having a 4-2 at least threatens to trade with their 4-2, 4-4 token. Sandworm did some work. Goodbye, big fella. We do have another one lurking in the deck. Maybe we'll find it off the top and reintroduce a threat for their Sifter Worm. We could also double block here. What does a double block look like? How about... yeah, I think I do like a double block. We do have a Gravedigger that we happily get the Sand Strangler back with, and they're out of cards. We know, like, unless I'm missing something on board, this is a straight-up offered trade. And then we have pretty good defensive means left back, so we're going to do this. Oh, Deadlands. Yeah, thank you. That's a real thing. Although, could they have done anything with it now? Like, they get 1, 2, 3? Yeah, they were one short from being able to do anything with it there. Well, they're not quite tapped out, right? They were close. Or maybe they were too short. We're going to keep both of these. Oh, Sorcery Speed is another great point. Reading cards, troubling for all of us today. We're going to call this a support group. We could cycle this now, but it's also fodder for Javelineer discard. So I kind of like holding with this as a -1/-1 counter. Yeah, we could. If we find the hour, though, we wouldn't mind 2 creatures. You want to do it anyway? I guess we get another thing to discard. So our ability to discard remains the same, or we're happy because we found gasoline. But also, I got to remember, use the useless land. Hey, another good buddy of ours, a second Strangler. Let's take out the Baleful and pass for now. Hour will now be on top, though. Kept it and discarded to make the 4/4 a 3/3. Yeah, that's true. Could have taken this one out. I think we'll have time. This is a little unfortunate. What did they kill with that? Where did they put those? Oh, on the Ritualist. Great target for the Soul Stinger. Now, though, I'm going to just say no blocks. You want to double block and just lose one of these two? I'm a little concerned. I think if we give ourselves one draw, we may find better blocks. So I'm going to take it this time, Haj. and see if there's a better block on the horizon or not. And then if not, we'll take what you're talking next time. No better block on the horizon there. Could keep some discard fodder in case we decide to get back our Javelineer somehow. But probably in case of Gravedigger, I'm going to want to keep playing lands. And now we are going to double block Strangler and Spider on the 4/4. Although we could even do it on the 4/5, but then it does have some power on death. Yeah, what do you think? Because we can take out either one, right? 4 power plus the -1/-1 counter. If we take out this one, it's going to die with a -1/-1 counter and be able to do 5 total damage effectively, which is still not enough to kill both of these. So maybe let's go for the harder, the bigger one, the tougher one. Yeah, that's true. It could shrink the Spider into non-counter territory. All right, we'll go with the 4/4 then. Just killed the Spider anyway. All right. Hey, we know this card. Flooding out here at a bad time, but at least our Strangler holds off a couple of bears. And I'm going to follow through on casting this stuff because 1, 2, 3. 7, 8, 9, like 10 means we're close to Gravedigger, get back Worm, cast Worm. So I'm going to keep heading toward that. If would Worm be what we even, and there's the Gravedigger. Well, now we're going to figure it out. That looks correct. Yeah, how are we even in this, given the mana ratios Oppo has managed? Oh, we got our Worm exiled, so looks like we are figuring out what's best here anyway. Maybe another Sand Strangler. Sand Strangler doesn't get the Soul Stinger. Sand Strangler doesn't get much of value because it can't kill either of these. We could take Javelineer because at least it at 4 power does a better job on the ground of trading. But Sand Strangler taking out something then creates 2 Sand Strangler blocks that are pretty good. We're on... So that's really the question here. I think the Javelineer probably gets us more value before the end of the game. But I'm a sucker for the snap 2-for-1. This still has good blocks for it. This combines to do some good defensive work for us. Right now, for example, we can put Gravedigger and Sand Strangler on a Soul Stinger, and it's a 1-for-1. And we will go ahead and take out, I guess the Hope Tender has power. The Ritualist does more mana, but I think I'm going to stop worrying about mana now and just go for controlling board power. Splendid Agony is interesting and could probably get him. We may need to end up letting the Soul Stinger throw a couple counters back our way, and I guess we can't really attack with the Gravedigger. Actually, I think with this board, maybe we're just supposed to hold the Agony in case they come for the attack. But can we just get, can we turn the corner with the Agony? I should really think about this because, like, let's say we attack Strangler. They have easy blocks of Singer and Spider, but then we'd have to put 2 here. Yeah, it's still kind of rough. I think I'm going to stay on D for now. Let me know if you think I'm not being aggressive enough here and that we should be trying to find a way to get damage in. But I think they're trying to find a way to get damage in on us, and Splendid Agony plus blocks seems like it could work. Yeah, we do have another worm waiting for us. This seems destined to die, but if they use resources on it, that could be okay. Maybe we hold for now until we feel like Companion actually does something on the board and the Soul Stinger is gone. So I'm going to hold the Companion here. I think it's just too vulnerable on the board without doing enough to help our board state. Vitalist I'll run Vitalist out because if they use resources to kill this, then I don't care that much. Whereas the Companion can actually, at 3 power, threaten to have some real impact on combat. Enchantment is Trial. We have no more cartouches, so really this is just a thing sitting here distracting you. Epic first game here. Let's check deck health. 13 to 12, so we got to keep that in mind. But yeah, second Sandworm, if they don't have removal, should be very good if we can find it. There's the promise of the lack of promise. We ended up cycling our 3rd desert, so we don't get the value town, but we do get to thin our deck pretty heavily. We are already losing on card draw, like we're already losing on deck health, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this and thin. So maybe this is them moving towards finding an attack. Nope. Open fire! All right. That lets us potentially just kill one of these two. Like, if I go... Well, it doesn't make attacks great. They still have the Soul Stinger issue, but we can attack. We'll talk about it, Haj. I really don't love going to 2 deserts for these Stranglers. Could kill both with both removal spells if they block. Yeah. Right? If they block the way we want. I like sending in the Stranglers, though, now, and leveraging our combat tricks for figure-it-out value. Let's go. Haj is questioning this attack. Maybe I'm acting before figuring it out. But we do get Splendid Agony, reducing the spider so the spider doesn't actually damage. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. We kind of are giving up the Strangler, but no counters on Stinger is the way to go. A little complicated, but we got there. I think that worked out all right. I'll take that. They get to heal up their zombie. That's funny. The beetle. We could offer trades. I guess offer trades is good. Again, Sandworm is in there somewhere. At least like... Yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting.
What do you mean, Flash Gordon approach? Open fire!
I'm happy to get any value for a 3-1 against this Oppo. Now we need ourselves a top deck. We have plenty of them, but I'm going to take 4. Hey, Nutter. Wednesday on my count, but is it... It's not already Thursday for you, is it? Or maybe you're off in... Down under. All right, we found one of our outs to have blocks for sure. Am I even attacking? I'm not attacking with both. We can send the Vitalist though. Now, we win the race. If we keep 2 blockers back, we don't lose to a single removal spell, and they have a forced chump next turn. Wow. What a draw. It's just like perfect. Oh my goodness. But with Vizier, now... They really have to offer both for the Sandworm, so I'm going to send the Sandworm... I'm going to send everything. Let's see. If they block and eat, say, the Dune Beetle to get to Virtual 7, they still can't just take the Sandworm. They still have to, like, they would have to chump with the Hauler in that place. And then we get the Vizier down, but I don't want to leave no... I don't want to die to 1 removal, if we, so, as Hodge is saying. So we're not going to swing with everything. So that means I'm only going to swing with the Sandworm. And then, assume we get the double block. Want to kill the Lifelinker first and foremost. And now, hopefully, Vizier is enough, although, classically, we're 1 short of threatening lethal here. I don't know if I missed a point somewhere, but, the clock is 1 off here. All right, Dissenter is nice. Makes me feel more comfortable sending in 2. And we can offer the Vizier. You want to swing all. I guess, yeah, it's a forced block, so we can actually swing all. Get him down to 5 and then drop Dissenter. We have to trade off the Vizier, but we're going to keep doing it. Three cards left to deal 5 damage. Monitor, we're just gonna play that as a beastie and can't die to a single removal spell, so still swinging away. Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird block. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is how this is ending. Of course, Oppo has been waiting for that all game too, I'm sure. They can't swing, but neither can we. How do we win? How do we actually win? If we swing away, eat, trade, they go to 1, and then we're dead. According to chat, nothing. That's the thing. We have 1 land in our deck. Wow, they got us. That was it. I'm a little heartbroken here. Wow. Our only hope is that they decide to attack. Yeah, we'll let them decide to attack, but no, they're too clever for that. What a that is a hard loss, let me tell you, because we fought tooth and nail to stay in that, to extend the game, play to our outs, and then just a stupid card lands to shatter our dreams. Yeah, it was a good game, just a rough side to end up on. Yeah, I do wonder. I bet that classically that just seems like a game that a better player, top pro, the all-timers would have found a way there. Oh, I got hasty. You know me. I finished one game, I jump into the next. All right, keepable. Nice. We even get the trial ahead of the cartouche. Fourth land is important here as well. Yikes. Uh, 2-1 first strike says Trial of Strength, not so impressive. We're just going to drop the spider. And actually, I think I'm going to attack first. This is going to get rough, though. Turn 3, Oketra's Monument is a tough card to beat. We'll see if we can handle it. Cartouche is a fine addition to the team here. We're going to take out the Taw Crop, given the Cartouche. I was thinking of strangling the 2-1 to open up the ground more, but now we have the Cartouche for that. Yeah, we'll trial before we Cartouche. And I like send both. What you gonna do? Could even do Shafet Monitor cycle next turn, possibly. Let's see what they come up with. Sequencing here is interesting. We obviously want to sequence Trial before Cartouche, so maybe we should probably look to just get on that and Trial next turn. But I can see worlds where we cast either of the other two things as well. But it feels like, yeah, if we can just focus on getting rid of this Burning Fist through the Cartouche, we really open up attacks. More land anyway. So yeah, that's the part I don't like. I just feel like we're not using our mana very efficiently here, but I do think ultimately a quasi 5 mana trial is correct. You want to attack with Strangler? I guess I didn't want to trade the Strangler yet, but I don't know why. Maybe I should have. I was suddenly feeling very defensive. It's Doomfall. Can we take the Doomfall out? I mean, I guess we'll get their hand here, but don't love this. Does this, Desert card, Battlefield. Oh yeah, it does put it untapped. So if we did this, we would have 2, but that's not 3. Well, we can always cartouche it, then it doesn't. What do we want to cartouche? Spider? You want to cast this or cycle it? We cycle it, we set up a Doomfall cartouche turn next turn, or possibly a strangled cartouche turn. Well, we can't both cycle and cartouche. Cycle here costs 4. We end up with 1 more land, and 2 is not enough to cartouche. So... And now I think we want to get the Aven, right? We got to cartouche the Aven. We're probably going to strangle... You want to strangle the Lizard? I'm going to go with... I do like Strangle. That's true. It does nothing because of the spider. But I still... I don't know. I like taking it out. It's true. It's true. Maybe that wasn't the place for the Strangle here, but I still like it. And now we have no attacks because Burning Fist can discard. But yeah, it's pretty fragile. I don't mind getting rid of the Aven.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
Hey, look, our promise is gonna work. Is this untapped? Probably just do that. Or we could come back to this. I like our promise here. Do we have attacks? Let's see. Let me actually look at my attacks first. I guess we don't because of the Burning Fist. So yep, just our. Also want to use this Doomfall on their hand before they empty it. So that's a consideration, but this should help. We get 2 more lands on the battlefield. If we happen to draw a land, we'll have a lot of mana for next turn. And we'll already be able to Doomfall and Cartouche next turn. Although, actually, look, I had to get the deserts, but we only have 1 black right now, so that's a consideration as well. One line is to get the monitor out and cartouche the monitor, so we have a 7/6 lifelinker if they can't manage it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're close to doing that. I kind of like that, given the state of the board. Although we could also just do the Doomfall now. Again, kind of want to do the Doomfall before they're completely out here. So I'm going to start with a Doomfall. And then maybe although they probably don't empty their hand next turn. So I'm actually going to hardcast Monitor. I changed my mind. We'll get a nice big creature out. And then next turn can choose which of these we want to do. Our worst case is that Oppo just completely dumps hand here. They're going for the aggro approach here. That's interesting. Understandable, they got the ground so clogged. But hey, look, a sandworm. People were asking for that. Keep pressuring our different plays here. I still want to Doomfall while we have time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have the mana for it, but I'm going to Doomfall now. We only have 1 black is the problem. So let's Doomfall. Hodge says got a worm. I disagree. I don't think we need to worm yet. I think, in fact, this will help understand if they have more, you know, another compulsive rest or something. Being choked on black is unfortunate here. It would be nice to double spell, but not a bad pick-off. That's why they were getting aggro. They had the go wide payoff. If we send in the monitor, what happens? They probably just chump. Yeah, they have too much action on blocks, so we're going to say no attacks. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9. If we find an untapped land, it's still not enough to do both of these. So we're almost certainly casting a Sandworm next turn. Yeah, we'll sack the spider. No reason not to do that. Vizier, more choked black mana, but we're gonna play the Sandworm. Why don't you want to sack it, Weasel? I don't. We don't have like we don't have artifact or enchantment removal, but we do have Gravedigger and Wander in Death. So, Spider Drain, sure. It's one drain. I guess we could have drained first and had the mana. Yeah, that would have been better. Watch it come down to 1 point again. Yeah, but we have enough mana to decide it, right? We can hold it until we find the grave digging. We have enough mana that we could have held. Oppo thinking about how hard this is to block. That's the plan. Cartouche the Burning Fist and attack with an 8/8 lifelinker that cannot be blocked by most of Oppo's team. All right, more black is nice. We can actually 2-spell here. Let's start with 3-spell. I think. Maybe we don't have it quite enough to 3-spell, but close. Oh yeah, we're getting the Minotaur. And we're going to throw this on Sandy. Oh, I accidentally floated extra mana. That's okay, we're going to use it. I mean, we're getting extra value out of the trial or whatever, but it's not even that important, right? Like, that's classic Magic, though. It's like sometimes games come down to a handful of important cards. And doesn't really matter. I guess for mana efficiency, we'll play the more expensive 4/2. Had to do that because of the extra mana I floated. Now we send Sandworm, and it does not have any tool. They don't have any tools to block it, and we'll keep everything else back on big time D. All right. Killer combo got there. Aggro could not overcome an 8/8 lifelinker that had evasion against most of Oppo's deck. Okay, now I'm going to update the record, and I'm not going to jump in. We can talk about, we should revisit some of the card choices based on what we've learned and what we've been thinking about. Hodge was in favor of basically cutting the hour and cutting the White Desert. I'm still nervous about what that means with double Sand Strangler and only 2 ways to trigger it. I think I'm going to continue to run the White Desert. And maybe it's even the Hour of Promise is important as potential fixing, given how sketchy the mana is here. I do like considering just bringing something boring like a Sidewinder, this other Wander in Death, and what were some of the more non-BOE stuff? Like this Doomfall was not doing it. And Trial is pretty darn medium, I gotta say. There's a way in which Sidewinder is just kind of better than Trial, but they're very similar medium. Vizier is just being a 4-2. We don't really cycle or discard much, it's true. It gets powerful with the Javelineer, but kind of not outside of that. We have brought in the Naga, which I like better in the slot, so we could cut that. Could do something like play Forsake the Worldly to support cycling triggers of Sniper and Javelineer. And then sometimes you have the Desert and actually take out an important artifact or enchantment. So that's a possibility. I think I'm going to hold off on that, but we can keep that in mind as a further adjustment. But I do like this adjustment to start with. Yeah, that White Desert is an embarrassing card for the deck, but I got my reasons. I think the Stranglers are so good, as you've seen. Like we kept the other game close and won that game because of Stranglers. Yeah, no, Rob, I had it down a mountain, and that just felt wrong to me, given the importance of the Stranglers. I'm going to keep this, though. We have Sniper into Agony, and we can maybe cycle this Desert, but with two of the three Deserts in the Hour still in the deck, probably just going to play these out. I like Swamp Sniper since we're going first, though, and then nothing to do until 3 anyway. Get that going, play one of these, see if we can find another. Hey, it's all of our deserts. Interesting. Well, let's play this one. Then if we find a basic, we can play the Naga. Or Agony the Sniper. I didn't really have a bluff attack last turn because I couldn't really hold up 2 mana. Holding up 2 mana allows Oppo to threaten, say, the horror card and something else. We'll play Desert, and then if we really, really wanted to think about it, we could consider cycling this Desert. I don't think I want to, but it's an option we have. Especially, I don't want to cycle, like, I'm surprised Oppo is cycling, given that it means they can't pay. Like, maybe they're just bottomless cycling, and that's not a big value loss to them, but I would really not want to lose the any of my Sniper activations if I could help it. Hoodie B. No red yet for our splashed removal. We do have the black now, though, for our actual removal. One option would be to throw a counter on each and try to finish them off with Sniper stuff over time. But I think just play Desert, play Splendid Agony. Yeah, we could also just play Naga and look to trade because it's going to be a 4-2. Really, Rob? I mean, I would have. There's what's in the set. I mean, maybe I don't know what's available for 1 black to punish. It's possible I was not properly representing a black trick Yeah, what about this for right now? Let's get rid of their sniper and then look for the Naga block. Yes, spreading around these counters to finish off with sniper is interesting, but a little too cute. We've played our cycling. Most of our cycling is now deployed as lands to the battlefield. So really looking for some red now, and then Strangler and Open Fire will clean up this board a little bit. Oppo found a fourth land. They were missing that. I would double exert if I were them. I don't know what they've got. Okay, well, there you go. Now they're just going to attack. Oh, really? Okay, there we go. I was trying to figure out what was going on there. Now I understand. All right, desperately seeking red. Need a mountain or an hour of promise, basically. Or Shafet dunes would help us get there. But we don't have much time here. Not much time, and the spider is only going to be so helpful. Spider's okay. It's got a chump, though. Or we just chump with a sniper and hope to help the spider out with something else. If they double exert, we can chump and, like, take a short breath while we try to find red. So indeed, the double exert. We gotta throw a sniper on one, but I actually think with the double exert, we just block the one, and we have 2 draws to strangle or open fire. Heck, if we find a mountain off the top, we can clear. Oh, I guess we can't. We can strangle after they settle down, right? So anyway, gotta make this chump, and then gotta take a little extra damage. That's not the best news I've seen. Hey, that's about the best news we could hope for, though. We found exactly what we're looking for. Let's see. Deadlands. I think it's safe to attack here. There's the hasty zombie flyer, I suppose. It's not quite free because there is the 2/1 hasty flyer, activated haste, that the spider actually does control. Yeah, the croc is the bigger concern, although, yeah, I guess the 1 point is not as important to me as being conservative about protecting our life total. Yeah, they're not in red, though. I'm not worried about red cartouches. All right. I see your 4/4 and raise you a 7/7. It could get pretty big. We're going to have to block it with something. Maybe if they attack with the horror, we just stack everything on it. But let's see, like, what's realistic? There's not a ton of single mana cycling in the set, but if they had like 3 cyclers, This could become a 7 toughness, so it takes 3 cyclers even to just trade. So, what do you think of this block? We're having mixed reports on Cardboard Live today. I'm afraid that they've got the Deadlands here that we need to... well, that's sorcery, so they can't do that. Yeah, we just have to, right? We don't have choices, so... If they cycle 4 times, then the horror eats the worm. Okay, not 4 times, but still a trade. And we still get open fire, so we are very much...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Ah! Nice one, Oppo. They're gonna like that. Oh my god, we're just living the dream. We're both top decking like fiends here. We need it again. That is not a very fiendish top deck. We are now chumping. Although they have the win if they see it. We're going to make them see it. If they use their Badlands on the Strangler can't block. But they are giving us a chump. I don't think we're going to get there anyway, but they could have just won straight up here. So at least we get one more draw. Yeah, that's the thing, Hodge. It's a moral victory of having extended the game by a turn, but I don't think we really have outs. Especially because now even our second Sandworm doesn't stop the mummy damage. It was vital that we find something besides this thing. Bummer. 1-2 to start with a pretty reasonable deck. It's a little greedy. We didn't love it, so I didn't par pull it or anything, but I never like starting 1-2. Let's pull it even at least here.
Mm-hmm.
Out of beverage.
Reach into your refrigerator.
I don't have a fridge next to me anymore.
Can I get you one? I'll deliver it to you.
You would deliver me a beverage? It's like the 50s.
I'm a housewife.
Honey!
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm making you a martini right now.
Good game, Falcoholic. A lot of back and forth there. That was fun. This is looking awkward, but we do have open fire on 3 and the promise of extra lands on 5. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome, darling. Sorry I'm late.
Maybe we'll bring the twin beds together tonight.
Keep one foot on the floor.
Thank you, Breeden. Anyway, on keeping this, feels a little greedy to keep. I think we have to mulligan this. Yeah, that looks a little better to me. We keep this, and I guess we ditch the Javelineer as the... You know, if we do find our red, we'd rather have the Strangler than the Javelineer. Norbert's keeping that all day, huh? Yeah, it didn't look good to me. If the hour could guarantee... like, if we knew for sure we were going to draw a another desert before casting the hour, and we're going to get the full zombie value out of the hour, then I think I'm with you and I keep. But it is really, that was a really slow hand. If this is an aggro deck, we would have been mowed over. Maybe we get some ramp here. Compelling argument spotted. Well, is this their plan, or is this just a cycling? Looks like it's just a single mana cycler. Much like Ikoria had these cards with cycle 1 on them that really didn't, you never intended to cast them. If you're black-blue cycling, discard, then you'll play whatever 1 mana cyclers you can get. Too bad we cannot crash through with our companion. They might not block out of concern, but I'm not going to put them to that particular bluff test. Yeah, I already don't like this. Cycle Goyf with all the 1 mana cyclers here already looking good for Oppo. It's out of Strangler range. And we're just kind of derping. Oops. We could cycle the Wander in Death. We do have 2. And then we still have a play after if we don't find anything we like. I think we cycle here. Looks like they might be trying to cycle into land. More land removal. Splendid Agony is interesting. It means we can, even if they have, oh, Drakehaven, of course. Ugh. This feels like a, this is a good looking deck from Oppo. I don't know how they're in the 2-loss bracket. I understand how we are. Yeah, I do like sending in really almost everything. Let's see. If we send in... Trouble is if we send in like Naga and Companion, it's not as clean on the... I think we just send in Companion and Spider. And then Splendid Agony does some stuff, and we have however they block. If they go Companion... If we send them all, though, Haj, we do set up just getting the Naga or the Companion eaten, right? Well, I guess it still eats the Companion, though, right? If they block here. If I have to put a counter here and a counter here, and the crab is on the Companion, here, well, okay. All right. Send it all, see what they want to do. Only because I can, this is fine to have this die, and, see, it's not great, though. I don't love this. Do you want to kill the crab? Or shrink the vial? You'd still 1-1 it? All right. If I'm going to listen to Haj, I'll just listen to Haj. Yeah, good point. Strangler and Open Fire are both now lethal on that, so that's a great reason to do it. We are in Hunt for Red September here. Red August. So that gives up our chance to get tokens off the hour, but if we find a mountain, it does turn on the Sand Strangler despite being in the graveyard, so that's fine. We can offer the Naga for any of this, and that would be fine. The manifestation could get large. I think it's safe. Like, this could get high power, but the toughness stays the same. I'm not sure I want to send the spider, because if they do a big cycling thing, it could really hurt. I like sending just these two. Oh yeah, and Drakehaven? Definitely don't want Zomb, but would we, if we're happy to trade with a Drakehaven token, Thank you, Mobius. Welcome, Raiders. I'm going to say no attacks here. See if we can find our red. We have a stretched deck here. We didn't quite find the fixing we wanted. We started down a path towards like base green, 5-color, and ended up more green, black, heavy splash of red. And we're pretty dependent on getting lucky with our lands on some level. That was rough-ish, but not the worst. Riches, if they can get to that, is going to be the tough part. I don't know if we're making it out of this draft alive. Headed towards a 1-3 finish here. Debating holding the land because it would suck to get unburdened of our final 2 cards, but if that happens, you know, I don't think even we can't even handle getting one of those discarded. We need them both at some point. Here's where the cycling begins. Oh, no Drakehaven trigger. That's good. Interesting. Well, I suppose we open fire and take 5. But because maybe we draw another creature that will allow the Sand Strangler to take one for the team or something. But I'm gonna take out the Vile Manifestation. Doesn't look good for us though. Between this card, and this card waiting in the wings, I don't know how we craft a win out of this. I like to try and find a plan, but I need to... We need some help. Need some help. I'm going to go ahead and try to strangle the Vizier. If they have cycling, it gets indestructible, but what else can we do? I feel like I'm just playing magic cards until we die. Like, I still have no plan. I cannot tell you what our plan is. Besides, do things that seem to have some sort of short-term impact. Sure, we'll take the action. This is kind of what I was hoping for, though, is that you find something expendable like a sniper that allows something to live for a turn beyond this. But, again, we have no plan. We're so donezo. What time is it? Maybe I should just get on with the next thing. Did I pass this on Friday? Where was I at in the draft when I passed it? Maybe I was thinking too aggro at the time. Certainly a nice control finisher, but it's a do-nothing 7-mana enchantment. Yeah, I probably dismissed it too quickly at 7 mana. Playing Magic cards like it matters. Pretending there's a chance. Pretending this is a winnable game. Well, there is the otherworldly that we were considering running given our desert. Sure. That's a great one for this deck. This deck looks great suited Ace King. Well, we're up in the diamond or whatever, so a lot of the players have drafted good decks and are just it's much harder to have a high win rate up here, right? Everybody's playing good stuff. The Hour of Promise that holds little promise for us because of no zombies. Yeah, this looks like a very strong deck, and I'm surprised to be facing it in the losers bracket here. But again, magic is magic. Stuff happens. You don't get the draw of your dreams every time. Desert of the True no longer matters as a concern. Maybe even want to just get it so that we take this bad ETB tapped draw out of our deck, because we have our mana anyway. I'm going to do this. No plan magic, living on the edge. This is so silly. I'm gonna scoop it up. We have no avenue to win. This is like my opponents keeping playing me at Waterdeep when I won 5 rounds ago. All right, bye. Well, I'm enjoying this format. We had some very interesting losses, right? The Magic was pretty good today, pretty decision intensive. Not the results we want, but it's tough to rack up the wins in Diamond or higher, and we're gonna lick the wounds and say, oh well, we got beat today. Forgot to say goodbye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.